Hello students, today we are going to see session 5 of soft skills, that is active listening. So what is active listening? Active listening is a skill that can be acquired and developed with practice. However, active listening can be difficult to master and will and therefore take time and patience to develop. Active listening means, as its name suggests, listening actively without any distraction or diversion, or we can say without any disturbance. That is, fully concentrating on what is being said rather than just passively hearing the message of the speaker. Active listening involves listening with all senses as well as giving full attention to the speaker. It is important that the active listener is also seen to be listening, otherwise, the speaker may conclude that what they are talking about is uninteresting to the listener. Interest can be conveyed to the speaker by using both verbal and non-verbal messages, such as maintaining eye contact, nodding your head and smiling, agreeing by saying yes or simply to encourage them to continue. By providing this feedback, the person speaking will usually feel more at ease and therefore communicate more easily, openly and honestly. Listening is the most fundamental component of interpersonal communication skills. Listening is not something that just happens, that is hearing. Listening is an active process in which conscious decision is made to listen to and understand the messages of the speaker. Listeners should remain neutral and non-judgmental. This means trying not to take sides or form opinions, especially early in the conversation. So, active listening is about patience, pauses, and short periods of silence that should be accepted. Listeners should not be tempted to jump in with questions or comments every time there are a few seconds of silence. So, active listening involves giving the other person time to explore their thoughts and feelings. They should therefore be given adequate time for that. Active listening not only means focusing fully on the speaker but also actively showing verbal and non-verbal signs of listening. Generally, speakers want listeners to demonstrate active listening by responding appropriately to what they are saying. Appropriate responses to listening can be both verbal and non-verbal, examples of which are listed. The signs of active listening, non-verbal signs of attentive or active listening. This is a generic list of non-verbal signs of listening. In other words, people who are listening are more likely to display at some of these signs. However, these signs may not be appropriate in all situations and across all cultures. The first one is smile. Smile, that is, small smiles can be used to show that the listener is paying attention to what is being said or as a way of agreeing or being happy about the messages being received. Combined with the nods of the head, smiles can be powerful in affirming that messages that are being listened to and understood. Next is eye contact. It is normal and usually encouraging for the listener to look at the speaker. Eye contacts can, however, be intimidating, especially for more shy speakers. Gauge how much eye contact is appropriate for any given situation. Combine eye contact with smiles and other non-verbal messages to encourage the speaker. Next is posture. Posture can tell a lot about the sender and receiver in interpersonal interactions. The attentive listener tends to lean slightly forward or sideways while sitting. Other signs of active listening may include a slight slant of the head or resting the head on one hand. Next is mirroring. Automatic reflection or mirroring of any facial expressions used by the speaker can be a sign of attentive listening. These reflective expressions can help to show sympathy and empathy in more emotional situations. Attempting to consciously mimic facial expressions, that is, not automatic reflection of expressions, can be a sign of inattention. Next is distraction. The active listener will not be distracted and therefore will refrain from fidgeting, looking at your clock or watch, doodling, playing with their hair or picking their fingernails. Next, so we will try to have a complete picture of what is active listening and the purpose of active listening. So the purpose of active listening is to present techniques that will allow you to provide feedback to the speaker in your business conversations. So customer service professionals, sales representatives and anyone who communicates with people in a business environment will benefit from this approach or this course. And active listening serves the purpose of earning the trust of others and helping you to understand their situations. Active listening comprises both a desire to comprehend as well as to offer support and empathy to the speaker. It differs from critical listening in that you are not evaluating the message of the other person with the goal of offering you your own opinion. Rather, the goal is simply for the other person to be heard and perhaps to solve their own problems. Active listening means not engaging in unhelpful listening habits such as being stuck in your own head, not showing respect for the speaker, only hearing superficial meaning, that is, not hearing underlying meaning, interrupting, not making eye contact, rushing the speaker, becoming distracted, topping the story, that is, saying that reminds me of the time, forgetting what was said in the past, asking about unimportant details, focusing too much on details and missing the big picture, ignoring what you don't understand, daydreaming, only pretending to pay attention, and so on. So these are all the factors that may disturb or distract the active listening, and one has to ensure that active listening is where the mind is put into concentration and without any daydreaming or second thoughts or trying to concentrate on multiple things at a time may lead to lack of active listening. So let us move to the father sounds different to that of the mother. Discriminating listening develops through childhood and into adulthood. As we grow older and develop and gain more life experience, our ability to distinguish between different sounds is improved. Not only can we recognize different voices, but we also develop the ability to recognize subtle differences in the way the sounds are made. This is fundamental to ultimately understanding what these sounds mean. Differences include many subtleties, recognizing foreign languages, distinguishing between regional accents and clues to the emotions and feelings of the speaker. Being able to distinguish the subtleties of sound made by somebody who is happy or sad, angry or stressed. For example, ultimately adds value to what is actually said and, of course, does aid comprehension. When discriminative listening skills are combined with visual stimuli, the resulting ability to listen to body language enables us to begin to understand the speaker more fully. For example, recognizing somebody is sad despite what they are saying or how they are saying it. Example, imagine yourself surrounded by people who are speaking a language that you cannot understand. Perhaps passing through an airport in another country, you can probably distinguish between different voices, male and female, young and old, and also gain some understanding about what is going on around you based on the tone of voice, mannerisms, and body language of the other people. You are not understanding what is being said, but using discriminative listening to gain some level of comprehension of your surroundings. Next is comprehensive listening. Comprehensive listening involves understanding the message or messages that are being communicated. Like discriminative listening, comprehensive listening is fundamental to all listening subtypes. In order to be able to use comprehensive listen and therefore gain understanding, the listener first needs appropriate vocabulary and language skills. Using overly complicated language or technical jargon, therefore, can be a barrier to comprehensive listening. Comprehensive listening is further complicated by the fact that two different people listening to the same thing may understand the message in two different ways. This problem can be multiplied in a group setting like a classroom or a business meeting where numerous different meanings can be derived from what has been said. Comprehensive listening is complemented by sub-messages from nonverbal communication such as the tone of voice, gestures, and other body language. These nonverbal signals can greatly aid communication and comprehension, but can also confuse and potentially lead to misunderstanding. In listening situations, it is vital to seek clarification and use skills such as reflection and comprehension.